That was our show called again. Analytically correct. The arsonist had oddly shaped feet. That's how I knew we were going to get along, because he started doing that.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. That was when I first moved up here. That was my first Wi-Fi password.
The whole thing, that sentence?
Not the password, but the name. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. And I subleased with a couple.
That's fucking great.
I have a lot of notes, but I don't know how to make sense of any of it.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Brettigans. With me, as always, my boy Marty here. Welcome to Analytically Correct. I guess I'm 3 for 3 now with saying that without completely stumbling over my words, so that's good. I guess that Tullamore hasn't kicked in quite yet. But thank you guys really for joining in. Those of you who are. I know last week we had a lot of chat going on and stuff like that. That was awesome. Get to kind of interact with everybody. Hopefully more of the same. We'll see what happens. So obviously the big things we'll be talking about today is obviously the Super Bowl, all that good stuff, and we'll talk a little bit about hockey just because I like it, and fuck you if you don't. And I'm sure we'll pepper in some NBA and some other shit. So
as far as
getting our feelings,
receiving comments and everything goes, just because I wanted to get it off early, either a fun game if you want to do over under. Or if you want to do comparables, if you guys don't know, Austin Matthews is like the future of hockey.
My boy.
And plays for a Canadian team, but he's the American dream.
My boy. He is the American dream.
His contract. We're not going to start with hockey. We'll do the Super Bowl, but I thought it'd be funny if you can comment in or do an over under and have us guess. We won't type it in, I swear.
Over under on what? Just anything?
No, as far as his contract. So
gotcha.
The difference in hockey with every other sport, obviously, unless you're like a big fanatic of sports, hockey's probably fourth on the big four.
Absolutely.
He signed a 5-year, I think it was like $55 million, $11.6 million per year. So if you guys either want to comment in on who in baseball, football, basketball is making the same amount of money as the future of hockey, or if you want to give us an over-under, have us guess and then laugh when we're wrong. Just to throw it out there now, so that if you want to comment in, we can do that and you can laugh at us or whatever.
There you go.
But if you want to start off with the Super Bowl, besides what everyone else is doing, your thoughts on the game. What did you do for the game? How was your experience with the game? Was it as boring as everybody else said it was? Did you win money? However you want to start with it.
I liked what I saw of it. To be perfectly honest with you guys, I was at a bar at 11:15 in the morning doing Jaeger bombs.
Hell yeah!
So I thought that would be a good idea, and then started pounding Sambuca as soon as the game started. So I actually passed out right before halftime.
So similarly, I was at a bottomless Bloody Mary and mimosa bar in Avalon. So that's how you.
Cool.
It's definitely how you should start off a day of drinking.
Bistro?
Eastside Bistro.
So, yeah.
Yes.
That's cool.
Upcharge for $3, definitely worth it.
Oh yeah, there you go. So you guys actually probably know a lot more than me. If I had watched that game, I would have been pretty excited to watch a close game where one score is until 7 minutes left in the game. If it's within one score, I consider that a pretty awesome game. But that's just me. I'm also a big SEC fan. I don't know if you could tell by my profile picture, but that national championship where it was in LSU Bama was like 9-6 or something like that. I loved every second of it. Loved it. I also like 1-0 games in baseball. I love watching two pitchers go the fuck out. It's so rare, and it takes so much talent to do that. Anyways,
I was trying to be positive throughout the game. It's the Super Bowl. I'm
Bowl.
gonna be the last person that's like, this game sucks.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that.
Through 3 quarters, I was like, oh, everybody. I was actually at a Super Bowl party where a couple of people had kids. So I was the first one there with my girlfriend, and then everybody came and left throughout the time when I was there. So by the 4th quarter, there were tumbleweeds blowing through. The buffalo chicken dip was like pretty much gone. There's broken there's broken chips in there. I think there's like a fake fingernail or whatever. So I'm watching the game, and my dad calls me. Lives in Michigan. Shout out to my dad. And I'm trying to be positive. I'm like, well, it's 3-3, so whatever play happens in the 4th quarter is going to mean something. So we have 1 quarter to make up for the whole season. And he's like, yeah, this game sucks. But I was being positive. It seemed like for the entire game, defensive struggle back and forth. McVay is supposed to be like the new offensive mind, and Belichick kind of shut that down. It doesn't matter what players he has on defense. Everybody knows the Rams have Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh, Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters, and then somehow nobody can name a Patriots defensive player.
Right.
And Belichick doesn't matter. Belichick can scheme it down. So the game was defense back and forth, back and forth. The punters are getting a workout. And then it's like, okay, Tom Brady, here we go. Fourth quarter, I'll do one drive. We'll take Gronk out of the garage. He's been getting a tune-up. He's been getting a tune-up for the whole game.
Like
yeah, they take him out of the garage. He has more catches in one drive than he has like for half the season. And it's like, okay, time to stop messing around. Now we just score a touchdown, and now you're not going to score a touchdown. And that was pretty much the game.
All right.
Once it gets to the fourth quarter, it's like, okay, we have our best drive of the game. You're not going to score. And everybody wants to talk about Tom Brady, and yeah, he's awesome. And no, I don't respect him as a Michigan player. If you see my shirt, he didn't win anything for us. Went in the 6th round for a reason. Everyone's like, all these players who got drafted ahead of him.
Drives me nuts.
It's for a reason.
It drives me nuts. How did you not know? Are you fucking retarded?
If you want,
sorry, are you? Yeah, I didn't mean that. But yes, that. Yeah.
Are you handy capable? If you want to, if you want to look it up, look how he looked. He looked like me with his shirt off at the combine. We said this. I don't know if this ever was on air, but he ran a 4 ever.
No, yeah, that's right. It's so fucking funny, man. I swear to God, I never heard that. It's so funny.
Yeah, my high school coach told that to me, and Tom Brady was told the same thing, I'm sure. And then he gets drafted. He's with the best coach of all time. I'm not saying anything. Patriots fans, don't get mad. He's awesome. But at some point, it wasn't like Tom Brady won them the Super Bowl. He had one good drive, and the other team had 0 good drives.
By all stats and comparisons, you would say Tom Brady had a pretty average year all around. No, granted, I mean, would I say, would I rather Dak Prescott over him? Absolutely not.
Well,
but
that's a short list.
I'm just saying, as a Cowboys fan, that's the only reason why I'm saying that.
Dak is like a manila folder holding like white paper that's plain. He has.
I think he's like a much more athletic David Garrard. Like, he's not going to lose you a game.
He's like a thicker Russell Westbrook in the fact that they both look like turtles.
Okay.
Not that pertains to anything.
Like leaf-eating dinosaurs.
It's just a thought that I've always had that maybe Mitch McConnell is both of their fathers. I'm not sure.
Zambrano. Another one who looked like a vegetarian, like a herbivore.
Here's a whole category: people in sports who look like turtles. I don't want to bring politics into it, but
okay. Well,
you turn Mitch McConnell on his back, he's going to starve to death.
if you're being honest.
So Brady, 21 for 35, 262, 7.5 average, 1 pick, no touchdowns. I will say this, like I was talking to my dad, when the fourth quarter comes, every play means something. If you're a degenerate gambler like me, I had many prop bets, 2 or 3 of which were a player to score the first touchdown. Normally, if you get to the second half and you're still waiting for it, it's like a Browns-Steelers game or something like that. Or
not this past year, because the Browns put up fucking points, baby.
Well, we'll talk about that later. A teaser. Don't go anywhere, but.
I'm sorry. Did they not score points? I apologize.
They're either on my top 6 or bottom 6.
Oh, nice. But they should win the division next year. But go ahead.
Okay. So if you're still waiting in the fourth quarter for a player to score the first touchdown, it's still exciting. Every drive is exciting. Like, who's going to score?
Yeah.
I had James White and Todd Gurley. We'll get into that a little bit later, but my 16-team fantasy league that nobody cares about is a keeper league. He's definitely going to be my keeper, but you're pushing it. If I had anybody else that's good, I would keep that.
Right. So I'm assuming you did not do very well on a lot of your props, so we can go through them all, but I mean, it would take a long time. But
that's the weird thing.
In a nutshell, didn't do well?
No, I mean, so I went into the Super Bowl. I won 100. Okay, so we'll get into the finances. Last week I started by saying it was not a good week. This week, good week. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. I went into the game up already $143 for the very small amount of people, maybe one person or anybody watching that cares about the Sergey Kovalov and Eldir Alvarez fight. I won on that one.
Very cool.
Yeah, nobody probably watched it except for me. It's on at like midnight on like a Saturday.
Nice.
But anyways, I put in like 13 prop bets, and my site lowers the limit to $10 from $25. So the result of 13 prop bets is a net of plus $30. I made so many bets. I had to look at it the next day because I had no idea, and I couldn't. After the game, I could make no sense of it. Like math, if I'm sober, is not going to work out well. After this game, I'm like, I'll figure it out tomorrow.
Right.
I could either be down 100 or up 100, and I'll have no idea.
Right. That's the beauty of gambling. Well, really quick, we got an awesome comment on Mr. Brian Bond chimed in and said, y'all need to talk about this bullcrap Edelman for the Hall of Fame stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous. I couldn't agree more.
I think we're on opposite sides for once.
This guy, now I'm just going to start talking about his character first of all. We can go into his, but this guy is also the same guy. I don't know if this got brushed under the rug or whatever, but this guy got arrested at a Halloween party probably like 7 or 8 years ago. He's just walking around like Donald Trump grabbing bitches in their pussy. I swear to God, you can look it up. He just reaching right under girls' dresses and just grabbing and just walking around. For some reason, he thought that'd be a fucking good idea.
Maybe he was Donald Trump for Halloween. I don't know.
He was not. He was Officer Dangle. I know this story very well.
I do not know this story.
Yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit human being.
So,
if you talk to any of the Patriots players,
Jesus.
they say that he like has this like awkward, super awkward, protective vibe over Tom Brady. If any new player, even a wide receiver, a tight end, tries to get in close to him, he'll just like kind of stand up like next to him and like he has to know everything that they're saying.
I saw them on that roller coaster together. He was going like this, the Larry David move. It's like you stop
I'm sure
short
one hand
of the
here, another down here, whatever you need to do. I'm sure that happened. He made sure he was tight regardless.
Something was going on at the Disney World there.
I don't know. That guy's a piece
the most
of shit.
amazing place on earth for a reason.
I'm not denying his talent per se, but I mean, I consider the Hall of Fame a huge deal. Call me crazy, but Hall of Fame is crazy. Go
so
ahead.
Marvin Harrison, Hall of Fame or not? Because there's talk out there. I don't know if he's going to see this, but I'm kind of nervous. He
might shoot you.
Murdered a guy.
and on his garage or something like that.
Some kind of crazy stuff.
Something was going on. It was like a rifle too. It wasn't even like a. I don't know. That was weird.
Pretty clear that he's not a great guy. I personally separate art from the artist. I know, as a big Kanye West fan, not to get into music, but I'm going to be the only one around here. I know you can tell that by Stretch's face. He can, when he made that song, I love Kanye like Kanye loves Kanye. I'm like, I mean, it's kind of funny. No, song sucked. But art from artists, I don't think the NFL is filled with awesome guys. I don't think it's the hall of like, that's why they have the Walter Payton Award, the guys who do the charity and everything. Joe Mixon's still in the league. Ray Rice is not, just because he's old. When you start bringing morals into it, I think people are hypocrites, and this is taking like a very weird turn. But when people say like, "Oh, I don't support this guy," like if he was on your team, you would support it. Let's just be real.
I don't like that argument though. Like, why not just not be a hypocrite? Like, I talk about this all the time with if Bryce Harper were to go to the Cubs, fuck that guy. I fucking hate that dude.
So who was the reliever that the Cubs signed? You were against him. He throws 7,000 miles an hour.
Oh, Chapman?
Yes. I might be exaggerated by a mile or two an hour.
I don't know if we've ever talked about Chapman.
So when you signed him, you're like, no, don't sign him. Because he had domestic violence. Everything got really quiet.
Cool, yeah.
The bar's not even listening to us, but everything got really quiet.
Well, not only that, it wasn't. I mean, that obviously played a big part in it as well. But no, I wasn't huge on it because he also started. I know not a lot of non-Cubs or Reds fans are gonna know this, but I could pull up the video. He started mad shit with our dugout when he was with the Reds. It was like waving at us, and then Rizzo ended up trying to take on 32 players on the Reds team in the dugout by himself. It was awesome.
I don't think it's right when people try to bring morals into sports. As far as like, I know a lot of, I'm from Michigan,
right,
and I lived in Florida for most of my life. So I know a lot of people who, when Ndamukong Suh was on the Lions, like, oh, he's a dirty player, he's a cheater. He comes to the Dolphins, everyone's like, we're happy to have him.
People, no, you're right on that. That makes those people losers. That makes those people hypocrites. That was my big thing with LeBron. Like, I never wanted him back in Cleveland because he said "fuck you," and then he came back and they said "fuck you" again. Like, I was proven right.
I don't think he ever said "fuck you" to Cleveland. Do you think he said that?
We Stretch and I talk about this all the time. It's not like he couldn't win there. He went to the finals, so it's not. I mean, everybody's like, well, you know. he had a worse team there than anybody. I
But
mean,
Anthony Davis is not saying "fuck you" to the Pelicans.
but
Like,
he
you
didn't
have
grow
a-
up in New Orleans. He wasn't, he wasn't born and raised in New Orleans. This is
But-
a totally different thing
but-
where he's born and raised in Akron, claimed to be deemed himself king, but then comes out and then says he won't ring chase. He said, I'm not going to go ring chase. Did it. It's like being left at the altar and then being proposed to again.
I don't think that LeBron is capable of ring chasing because
Well, he did it, so.
wherever he goes is where the rings go.
Well, did he win the first year in Cleveland? The first 6 years in Cleveland?
Yeah, but nobody wins in Cleveland.
Well, he did. After he came back.
Yeah, because he was there. He's not ring chasing. He is the place where people go to ring chase.
He didn't win for the first 7.
He's the place where people go to ring chase. He's not going to. He's not Kevin Garnett going to the Celtics to win a ring. He is.
So Kevin Garnett's at fault, but Paul Pierce isn't.
I don't like Paul Pierce. I mean, I
I'm
wouldn't
just saying,
defend
Paul Pierce is the one who didn't leave, and so Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett went to him.
Right, but you're not.
So no one blames Dwayne Wade for ring chasing, but because they came to him. So
Well, LeBron was not going to Miami to ring chase. LeBron went to Miami to bring them rings. He was not.
You just said he went to Miami to win a ring. That's ring chasing.
My
You're
point.
chasing rings.
My point is, wherever he goes, they're in contention. He can't be a ring chaser because wherever he goes, they're going to become a favorite to win a ring. People go to him to ring chase.
So
That's like saying
when he went to
that's
Miami,
like saying Michael Jordan's a ring chaser for going to like Charlotte and playing with whoever the hell was on that team.
I know he's not a ring chaser. So so you think that he's not a ring chaser because he went to another place to win a ring? That makes no sense. If he
No, I'm
stays
saying-
put like Paul Pierce and Dwayne Wade, then he's not a ring chaser.
There's nobody better than him.
I'm not denying he's the best player on the planet.
No, I'm saying he's not. Anywhere he goes, he's the best player.
No one's arguing that thing. You're saying he's not a ring chaser even though he went to another city twice to go win rings. How is that not a ring chaser?
So if you're at your job and they're constantly
No, this is different.
how is it? If you're at your job
Go ahead.
and they're constantly hindering you from being as good as you can be.
Well, I don't need to go ring chase because I'm
If
I'm
you
the
work
best
in
person,
if
right?
you work in a restaurant and they constantly put shitty cooks around you and you're a manager and everyone's complaining about the food, is that your fault because you're the best manager, or the people you're working with suck?
It's just different. I do see what you're saying. That's a good point. It's just different. Like this isn't. No one's gonna give fucking.
He didn't go to
Marty Bond the MVP of managing. For all
But
this
he
shit.
didn't. He didn't go to LA to ring chase. Like, yeah, he wants to be with Rondo. Really, like, whoever goes to LA is going to be with LeBron. Whoever goes to LA, you can accuse them of ring chasing.
So Dwayne Wade went to Miami because of LeBron.
Well, no, he got drafted there.
Okay, so just want to make sure.
He went to Marquette because he wanted
Right.
to. He got drafted.
Didn't they sign
there.
Bosch before LeBron? I think they did. Now you could say that he knew he was going there, but I'm just saying it's impossible to say someone isn't a ring chaser if they go somewhere else.
No,
I know what you're saying. You're like, well, he's there.
It's
so he brings
impossible
people
for
to him. He
LeBron-
didn't bring anybody to Miami. He brought 0 people to Miami.
It's impossible for LeBron to be a ring chaser.
You need to define ring chasing because it's like if he never left, if he was the human highlight reel, or if he's Larry Bird.
You know who's a ring chaser?
Sorry to interrupt.
I'll
If he's all these other people, like, and he doesn't bring those, like,
No,
if you stay in the same place, so if you're Paul Pierce, you're not a ring chaser. You
This
didn't go
is-
anywhere else.
this
Kevin,
is-
and you can. The only
This
thing
is
I
what
would
gets
say
feisty over.
is Karl Malone and Gary Payton. I'll excuse them because it was later on in their years when they went to LA and Miami, and they were no longer the best players on their team. That I
I can
kind of
define
get.
ring chaser for you if you want in 2 words. Kyle Korver. Yeah, you want me to stand in the
No,
corner? You
'cause
want me to
he's never
stand in the
the
corner
best-
and shoot threes?
He's,
Sure.
but he's Kyle Korver's been an all-star a few times, so it's not like he's just.
How
this-
long ago?
Just saying he's been an all-star before. That doesn't define his. I'm just saying.
So if you're an all-star, you can't be a ring chaser?
If you leave your team to go to another team that has a bunch of all-stars, how you can call that non-ring chasing is absolutely ridiculous to me. If you're your own person and then you bring those people too, like what you're saying, you said it correctly, but you're contradicting your own words. If you are at the same place and then they come to you, that is not ring chasing, because chase, believe it or not, means to like go after something. So if you're sitting still,
He left How are we talking about this right? He left
oh, love it.
He left Cleveland to go to Miami.
No, sir.
Yeah, you
you're
can
good.
take it. He left Cleveland, a terrible town by all accounts, to live in or to play in. Sorry.
I hope you get 4 flat tires on the way home.
Well, I don't live in Cleveland, so we won't throw nails in the streets.
There you go.
I don't know if they do that there, but it sounded funny. He left Cleveland to go to Miami, and it's not like he could have had Dwayne Wade come to him and Bosch come to him, but the salary cap doesn't work like that. It's not like he could not have won without Dwayne Wade. He has won without Dwayne Wade.
I would argue, you can argue, I mean, this is going to set off a lot of people too. You can argue Kyrie Irving's better than Dwayne Wade.
No, you can't. Not if you want to win.
Stretch. It depends on what you're looking for. Kyrie Irving's a much better offensive player. I mean, Dwayne Wade's a little bit better defensively. But
much better?
Yeah. Dwayne Wade can't shoot. Kyrie Irving might be the best player in the NBA at creating his own shot. Now, Westbrook gets to the line a lot.
Wait, James Harden plays in the same league as Kyrie Irving.
I said might be. You can make the argument for that Kyrie Irving. If you ask Kyrie Irving to score 80 points a game, he's going to do it.
Well, they should, because they're not doing too great
right now. No, what's up? Oh, we got shit going on over here. No, again, look, if you're not like, yeah, okay, so Stuart, if Dante Jones and Richard Jefferson, if you're a role player, then that's you're probably going to go to whoever's going to pay you $3 million that year. And also, Dante Jones and Richard Jefferson were old then as well. So that, again, that kind of puts them in that Karl Malone thing. They're not ring chasers. If you're a superstar and you don't think that you can win, for some reason you don't think that you're good enough to win, and then you go somewhere else like Chris Bosh or Kevin Garnett, then that, to me, that's ring chasing.
You're saying LeBron is ring chasing. That's what you're saying.
Yes, he absolutely did when he went to Miami.
He is the team.
No one is denying that he's the best player on the team, but when you change teams, that means you chase ring. It's not like if Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh should come to him, not a ring chaser, because guess what? He didn't chase. Chase means to go.
I'm going to tell you something right now, and everybody who loves to say that Michael Jordan's better than LeBron, here he goes. He's not. If Michael Jordan had the mobility that LeBron had back then, which LeBron pretty much created the CBA they have now to have the freedom to go where he wants. If Michael Jordan could go to different places, he would have done it. He did it when he went to Charlotte. If he could have gone to any of these other teams,
I don't think he would have.
Like, he's much more competitive. You think LeBron's not competitive? What is?
I don't. Now look, I agree that I think LeBron's better, but I don't think that Jordan would have left because he had everything. I mean, he had the best coach, he had the best role players, he had the best team. Where's he going to go? To fucking Detroit? No offense, Detroit, who had a very good team, but that's the wrong system for him. They're a hardcore defensive, score 80 points and give up 70. He doesn't want to play there. Where's he going to go to the fucking Showtime Lakers? They played together for so fucking long. I in my opinion, we'll never know. I think that would have messed things up a lot for them. So
don't tell me you agree with this. We're probably going to disagree with this for a while. Are you one of those people who watches games like I miss when they used to play defense?
No, they're different eras and stuff like that. Also, just to touch on how bad that awesome 95, 96 Bulls team was, that was the same year that the Raptors and the Grizzlies came into the league, so every other team, two teams came in, so the NBA was watered down, so that's why they got so many wins that year. Not taking away from the greatness, I'm just saying we need to ease up on that. Well, now it's second place is what the Warriors have it now, but that always drove me nuts when people were like, oh, they're the only team to go, whatever, 71 and 11 or whatever. That always drove me nuts because it was in a watered down league. I just think that if you stay put, then you don't ring chase. If you go somewhere else, now I mean, again, you can take this by different players. Like I'm not
saying. You're not allowed
so
to leave your team if your management is betrayed.
If you're a superstar.
So if Anthony Davis goes to the Lakers, he's ring chasing.
There's a lot of different things.
How much can you do for one team before you say, "Hey, this company sucks. I'm going to a different company"?
I think it's just a lot. What I like to say, because I'm a big Ohio person. I like Cleveland. I mean, I know I'm wearing a Magic jersey. I'm just saying, when Anthony Davis did not grow up in New Orleans. Dwight Howard did not grow up in Orlando. All these number one picks. Hang on. LeBron was the chosen one for Cleveland. He said that I'm not going to ring chase. He's everybody's golden boy. He Akron, whatever. Same thing. My brother's born in Akron. We always say Cleveland. It's whatever. It's like Oviedo in Orlando. Yeah, they're different, but I'm just saying he's from there.
Fair enough.
So he says I'm not going to ring chase. I'm gonna bring a ring here, and then he leaves and he gets a ring. So then all of a sudden he comes back, and it's like a charity case. It's like, all right, I've already got what I want. No, listen to that though. I'm sorry. I got what I want, and let's hug it out. I got what I want. Now I can give you what you want, because it's not about what Cleveland wants. It's about what he wants. So he got his ring. So he's like, fuck Cleveland. Now I can come back. Now it's this great story. It's unbelievable. No, he said, fuck you. It's a charity case.
Fuck Cleveland.
He took off on him. And they had a chance to win.
How many years did they have the best player in the world? And
6 or 7. 6 or 7. They went to the finals. They went to the finals and they couldn't win.
Because of him.
Yes. We agree on this. We agree on this. He's the best player in the league. Stay there. Bring people to you.
No. Before Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, name the best player that LeBron ever played with.
I mean, okay, so no one could come now. A lot of people are going to say that's Dan Gilbert's fault. Okay, well, if you're LeBron, maybe take a page out of Tom Brady or even Tony Romo's book. Take a pay cut so you can bring people there. Does that not make sense? Does that not make sense? Okay, so you're going to demand the most amount of money, and then you can't spend any money. How does that? Listen to that. That does not make sense. So you make $10 billion.
That's not a pen. That's an e-cig.
So you can make $10. Okay. $10 billion, and then now you can't sign anybody. Well, I can't win in Cleveland because we are signing Stretch and Brett and fucking Marty. Stretch would be the MVP on that team.
So the company you work for, and everyone always gets mad at this comparison, the company you work for says, you could do a better job for the company if you just took less money, and you're the best person in the entire company.
That's why it's a different perspective, because we're in sports. You're a lot of people, not myself, but you're based off like championships and rings and stuff like that.
You're the best fry cook at McDonald's. We could sell the fries for cheaper if you took.
Like way down here.
That's what I'm trying to relate to the people. I'm a people person.
It's just if you're not.
Damn it! I'm about to turn this table over.
In how you're thinking about it, it's just.
Why do people get so mad when players leave a team?
Let's catch up with some of these comments. I'm sure I'm ignoring all of this.
The team betrayed him.
Hang on. Okay, is this right?
If the Detroit Pistons had LeBron James for 8 years and won no championships, I'll say, yeah, we're never going to win. We suck. We had Barry Sanders. Did I get mad at Barry Sanders when he retired? Did I get mad at Megatron when he retired? No.
We suck. Mad at Barry Sanders.
No, I did not get mad.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant. I thought you said yeah.
We suck. He retired.
Yeah. So if you're an all-star and this is from Stuart Bond, if you're an all-star and your management and owner don't do anything to help you achieve your game, okay, I can buy that. Then your ring takes it. Look, Stuart, I'll give you that a little bit.
You had Anthony goddamn Davis for 6, 8, 7 years, however many years.
There's no way to look. You can say what you want about Dan Gilbert. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but there's no fucking way on the planet that you think that Dan Gilbert wasn't really trying there. Like these GMs don't just tell. Like when people talk about like the Pelicans owner is more interested in the Saints, he owns the fucking team. He owns the team. He gives a shit.
If you think every owner is really trying to win, that's just not true. Look at the Bengals.
Well, that when they had, was it Mike Brown for all those years?
No, they had Marvin Lewis for 1 trillion years, and he sucks every year.
And what do they always do?
Lose?
In the playoffs, because they were always in the playoffs. Always in the playoffs. How do you? That's why we were talking about that. Like, if you're a fan of an NFL team and you start off 1-4, they're like, oh, I want to lose the rest of the season. Are you fucking high? Like, you can go to the playoffs. The Cowboys, man, we're 10-6. We won the goddamn division. I must be high because
as a Pistons fan,
doesn't make any sense.
The only reason that I don't want to lose the rest of the games as a Pistons fan is because I have a bet with maybe the Traveling Drunks might know a guy named JJ.
Brand ambassador.
Yes, JJ. He's a he's an influencer, as Firefest would call him. Every single year since I've known him, $50 bet: Pistons or Magic, better record. I'm up $250. But I almost want to not do the bet because I want the Pistons to lose the rest of their games. Not trying for Zion.
You're getting some likes online, which is good. Anton Jameson was the best player Gilbert got us when Braun was there before he left.
Who the fuck is that? He probably could have made that player up. Nobody would have known.
Anton Jameson? That dude was unbelievable for North Carolina.
Spell his first name.
Antawn.
Well, we'll never know.
He played alongside Vince Carter for those, and Ed Cota, who wore number 2.
The best player LeBron ever played with in Cleveland was Austin Matthews.
I was gonna say Mo Williams, and Mo Williams.
See, that's a hockey player. I made it up. You didn't say anything.
Mo Williams was. I liked him a lot, but he went to University of Alabama as well. But he dropped over 50 in a game, so it sounds like he sucks. Also, how this random stat just to kind of take it off? Tyson Ross for the Magic 3 nights ago, has never scored in the 30s or the 40s, but his career high is 51. How nuts is that? Never scored in the 30s or 40s. I mean, obviously, he had to get there to go to 51, but I'm just saying.
I see what you're saying, yeah. So I was kind
his
of
career
confused,
high was 29, and then he scored 30 the other night. And I saw his stat. I was like, that's a Brett stat right there. That's
Tyson
cool
Ross.
as shit, man. Yeah.
Wasn't he used to be on the Raptors? Or?
Yeah. A little skinny guy wore a headband, undersized shooting guard. Where did Lillard Hughes go to college? Yes. St. Louis. Damn it, Stewart. Yes. SLU University. Because that was, who was Utah's old coach? No. Sorry. University of Utah. The Utes. He died actually just recently. Big fat dude. He coached Keith Van Horn and Michael Doliak in that 1998 March Madness. Fuck me. I hope someone says it. Damn it. Anyway, so my dad will get it right. But anyways.
A couple other things I wanted to talk about, some NBA stuff, but before we go to the NBA, do you want to talk about what I said last night? Do you want to do top 6 teams? I don't know if I was very clear of what I wanted to do.
No, I liked it, and I think it'll take a long time if we do both of ours, so let's do yours, then I'll put in my terrible
What I
2
said
cents.
was teams that you want to be a fan of.
Rick Majerus, thank you, Dad. That's what I'm talking about. Rick Majerus is the head coach. Sorry, I know he didn't look that up. Go ahead.
You're my boy, Blue. Teams that you want to be a fan of, or teams that you think are like looking up in the future, and then the bottom 6.
Yeah. All right.
So
you want to do like 1 and 1? You want to do all 6 and then all 6? However you want to. This is your show.
No, it's not.
Well, this part. This is your segment.
Sure. Yes. So if it sucks, it's my fault. We can go
I'll
back
try
and
to-
forth. I have like 17 notes. If you can see here, he has no notes, so he's just off the top of it. I have a bad memory.
That's how I roll.
Do you want to like do a draft, go back and forth? I'll say.
And Andre Miller was the starting point guard for that Utah team. Sorry, go ahead. I just thought about that. I was like, oh, I know they had one other stud on that team. I just forgot.
Silence of the Lambs.
Sure.
It's a Dan Le Batard joke. Stretch might have got it. So I guess we can go back and forth. I'll say it in this way: teams that you would most want to be a fan of, and I'll take the first one, and I'll do like 10 seconds on why. I'll take the Chiefs, and I don't really need 10 seconds to say why. All I'll say is Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
The number 1 team I would want to be a fan of. To preface this, I'm a Lions fan, so it could be pretty much like a 31-team list.
And you're talking about previous history leading up to preferably this next season.
Kind of like if you could not be a fan of the team you were born with. It works for me because I'm a Detroit fan. You know,
Okay. So if you had to switch teams right now, or if you were just getting into the NFL right now, who would you be a fan of? That's okay.
Kind
That's
of.
fair. I like it.
Kind of, yeah.
Like if you're
I would
like
say-
some 6-year-old kid, like he wants to get into the NFL, like, okay.
I don't know about when you were a kid, and this is kind of also to set it up. I was a fan of the Falcons because I love Michael Vick. I love Tracy McGrady. I loved Allen Iverson. I loved the Braves. And then once I got older, I'm like, you got to be a fan of where you're from. You just have to do it. And then, unfortunately,
have to be.
No, that's just how I looked at it. And unfortunately, I was born in Michigan, so.
I lived in Little Rock. I lived in Akron. I lived in St. Louis. I lived in Tuscaloosa. And
Akron, yeah, that's why you hate LeBron so much. He's a ring chaser. So
yeah.
if I took the Chiefs, I mean,
Where'd Allen Iverson go to college? Don't say anything. I know
He
you know
didn't?
this. No, he went to Georgetown for 1 year.
Damn it.
Yeah. Because the T-Mac and obviously, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, all those guys did not. Moses Malone was the first one, right? Kind of come out. I think he was the first one out of college.
so number 1 team, if you were like to give your kid the best life right now, he's a Chiefs fan, right? You have Andy Reid.
I think so, only because of Mahomes. You could argue the Rams. I was going to say Patriots right out the gate, but I mean Tom Brady's a little bit older. Not
was
saying he
my
can't
second
win
one.
the next 3 years, but I think you're
my
right.
second
Going
one-
forward, I think you're right.
My second one was Patriots, only because you don't want everybody to hate you. I mean,
Honestly, the first thing I thought of was Patriots.
if you don't mind winning, I started with Patriots, and then after I went down the
Oh,
division,
it went up. Listen.
it's above the margin.
That's funny. That's great.
So I put Patriots, and then I was like, fuck the Patriots, and then I put the Chiefs.
That's fantastic.
Who would be your number 3? We said Patriots and Chiefs already.
I mean, man, that's close. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Rams. I'll be a homer on this one if we get if Kellen Moore works out, the Cowboys are going to be really fun to watch because now our defense is really good, and there's all these closet Cowboys fans that are just waiting for us to be really good again. And we have more fans than the Patriots.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Shitty.
Can we talk about Kellen Moore for a second? Do you know his career trajectory?
Like his path?
Yes.
You're asking if I know a Cowboys players? Yes, I do know. Yes.
What's his trajectory? All right, there it is.
So, so he went to Boise State.
Correct. When they were the UCF of college football. If nobody watches college football, UCF used to be Boise State, and they were actually probably better. But anyways.
But Boise State never declared themselves national champions. Anyways,
Doug Martin punched a white guy in the face, so everyone got mad.
No. LeGarrette Blunt did.
Oh, sorry.
LeGarrette Blunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wrong guy. Punched the wrong white guy.
University of Oregon. Yeah. That was the big defensive lineman that they had as well. Anyways.
If you say that word, somebody can punch you in the face, law-free.
Oh, for sure.
You won't be prosecuted. Well, I mean.
What the fuck were we talking about?
Top 6.
No, but I was just talking this. I mean, what? I don't
the career trajectory of Kellen Moore.
Oh, yeah. So he goes Boise State.
Which surprised me, how quickly he came from Boise State's quarterback. And then,
he was our backup for a while.
And the Lions' backup.
Now, and then now he was our quarterbacks coach last year, and now he's apparently the offensive coordinator. I love giving people many years to kind of find out what your identity is as a coach. I just think that if you keep changing offensive identities, it doesn't help anyone, in my opinion. But if you stick with the same genre, you at least know who identity. Because if you're the Cowboys and you're this identity, so back in the day, if you were the top-notch running back in South Florida, if you're in the 70s and 80s, why the fuck would you want to go to Miami? Yeah, they're winning a lot of championships, but you're going to get 4 carries a game, maybe. You want to go to Nebraska, you want to go to Oklahoma, because those guys are going to hand you the rock 35 times a fucking game. And you could probably get a better draft pick. You might not win as many titles there, but it just depends on the system that has already been developed there. If you're a player and you're going into a first-year head coach, how do you fucking know this? Ask Alabama. Clemson has changed 3 coaches or something in the past 6 years. Bama has a new offensive and defensive coordinator every fucking year.
Who am I thinking of?
How do you know what you're trying to...
Maybe you can help me out.
What's up?
It's either college or pro, off the same tangent. I think it's Clemson that has had the same offensive coordinator for the last 10 years.
True.
Fuck it, true. Who's going to look it up? I tried.
No, it's fine. No, you're good. Yes, correct.
But I was saying, when I saw that, Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator.
That's the clip of the week.
Offensive coordinator for the Cowboys. Somebody who I was...
Scott Linehan?
No, it's Kellen Moore.
Well, no, but I thought you were talking about before.
Somebody who I was talking to was like, Jason Garrett's still calling the plays. I'm like, why would you think that?
Well, not now. They came out and said today that it's going to be Kellen Moore.
Yeah. Why would you? But he's like, Kellen Moore. He's like, Jason Garrett's still calling the plays for sure. I'm like, why would you think that he would get that power? Like, he sucks.
So I mean, we're always in it. Minus the year that Romo went down and we went 4-12.
I didn't have any NFC teams, NFC East teams in the top or the bottom. Because when I looked at it, just to say for what my criteria was, if anyone cares, when you say Chiefs, Pats, Browns, Colts, Rams, I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes,
Colts is a good one.
Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, with the draft picks they've had and the way the defensive line is, which I think could be one of the best in football. The Colts, if you don't really follow offensive line play or the draft, I think his name is Quentin Jefferson. He's the best guard in football in his first year in the league. The Rams, I mean, you have Goff young, McVay young, Gurley young. You have to have the quarterbacks either on the rookie contract, which everybody knows if you...
Right, Aaron Donald's young.
They still have to pay him, but...
Their defenses.
If you follow NFL now, the big hot thing is other than saying that the Super Bowl is good, that means that you know a lot about football.
Or saying Tony Homo.
If you think
That's all you have to tell people. Tony Homo, oh my God, you must watch football.
If you think it's good, rewatch it right now. I'll pay you. I won't, but... so Rams, rookie quarterback contract. Colts, Andrew Luck, nice offensive line now. Browns, how did the Browns ever become better than the Lions? I don't know.
We ran shit in the 50s, man. Lions and Browns.
It's my life.
They were fucking really good back in the 50s.
Patriots, just because it's the fucking Patriots. He's gonna play for 17 more. He says he's gonna play till 45, but he's gonna be out there in a wheelchair.
Probably healthy enough.
Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. How about the bottom 6? Without looking at mine, just rattle off a couple of teams who it's like, oh, I'm that fan. Fuck it, I'm not even paying for red zone.
To be honest with you, and this is just to kind of get him up, but with that, with a totally unproven new quarterback going to come in the next 2 years, he's looking at me. Dude, the Giants, you just don't. I'm not going to say that they're guaranteed bottom 6. I'm just saying.
I'm saying bottom 6. Like
very wary.
I'm saying if this person tells you they're a fan of that team, you're like, oh man, I'm really sorry.
Oh shit. That's a good one. Probably
shitty teams. That's what I'm saying. Shitty teams.
Man, I guess let's go. Oh, Raiders.
Bing.
Number one. Why did that take me?
I didn't put it in order. I did it in division, but you got
Raiders are number 1.
I put 7. It was much easier for me to come up with shitty teams than good teams. So you got Raiders.
I'm going. And everybody's going to be pissed at me for saying this. I'm going to say Niners only because I think that the ceiling is so high for them, and the projection for them is so high. I think they're going to get let down.
You're saying that. Well,
I don't mind the Niners.
I think this year for what happened with the injuries and everything, they're almost like under the radar for next year. I mean, everyone's going to say that.
We'll see. Again, this is just my opinion. Steelers in there as well. You lost your 2 best players. They're not looking good. Their defense is old as shit now.
At the bottom?
They're going to be 3rd in the division next year.
So
the Browns and Ravens are definitely better.
So just the way that I put it, when I look through these teams, when I look for the top 6, I look for who has like a positive trajectory, and on the bottom 6, I look for like whose quarterback situation is, excuse my language, earmuffs fucked. Dolphins.
There, and now we're done with earmuffs.
Dolphins, Bengals.
Bengals, yeah.
Dolphins, Bengals, Jaguars, Raiders. I think that says Giants, right? I can't read my handwriting. Lions, yeah.
Someone said Cardinals on here as well, and Bucks.
Well, no, I didn't put.
I fucking can't stand James Winston.
I didn't put the Cardinals just because if you have a rookie quarterback, you have to at least have some kind of hope. If you draft if you draft a rookie quarterback and you have no hope after the first year, that's.
But that's kind of why I put the Giants in there. You just don't know.
Right, but they have Eli Manning. I mean, who's going to be their quarterback of the future?
That's all. Again, your answer is don't know.
No, that's why I said I put the Giants in there, but I wouldn't put the Cardinals in there.
Okay, gotcha.
I wouldn't put any. If the Lions right now traded for Lamar Jackson, I would have more hope. I would have more hope than I had. Oh my God! Don't even get into the argument that I had during the Super Bowl. I was with Gators fans. And they're like, oh,
Gators fans suck, by the way.
I think
I'm a Gators
they
fan.
might have been fucking with me, but I was talking about Tim Tebow. And I was like, Tim Tebow is Lamar Jackson right now. And they're like, no, Tim Tebow's a much better this and that. I'm like, no, it's the same. Literally, it's the same.
Oh, I mean, Tim Tebow has a playoff win, so let's go ahead and jot that down.
I feel like you've been talking to them. I mean, if it wasn't for that one busted coverage by one linebacker, Tim Tebow would not have a playoff win.
So it's almost
saying
if
Tim Tebow
one
sucks.
play. It's not like they never played one play the whole game, and they were just like, look, one play decides the whole game. We're gonna run it. Oh, we got lucky. Well, he had to put him in there the whole time, and he led him into the playoffs.
I'm just saying, this might be controversial. I could have thrown that pass.
Just saying, man, that was a really good defense that year.
It was from here to there.
Okay.
And there is like a bar stool.
Okay, well, so is Joe Montana to Dwight Clark. I mean, so are all of these. And that pains me to say. I hate that fucking pass.
The pass from Tebow was across the middle, a routine
11 yards.
A routine crossing route that he ran 80 yards with, or however many yards.
Okay. Won the game, right? Because, I mean, it wasn't like he didn't do any. It's
well,
not like Tim
I can't
Tebow
argue with that.
It's not like Tim Tebow took 41 knees, and then it was nothing, and
well,
then he
apparently
threw
it
one
only
pass.
takes one
That's
to
what
get you
I'm
out of
saying.
league.
It's not like he took one. Now, look, Gators, I've said it before. I've said it many times. I'll continue to say it. Gators fans suck. They just do because everybody's all up in your face.
Aren't you a Gators fan?
That's what I just said. I said I'm a Gators fan. I got all my Gators shirt here.
Because for Tebow, everybody loved the knee. And once Kaepernick did it, out of the league.
If you put player X stats next to like any playoff winner, like player wise, you're gonna be like, wow, I'll take player X, and that is Tim Tebow. Like, wow, this guy's 9-3. He's got a playoff win. He might not throw for 4 touchdowns.
But why is he only 9-3? Why doesn't he have more opportunities?
See, if this guy had gone 3-9, this would not be an argument. If he had gone 5-5, it wouldn't be an argument.
But why
if he had gone 9-3 and not won a playoff game, it wouldn't be an argument. But he went 9-3, went to the playoffs, he won a game.
But why didn't he go 60-40? Why did he not get any more opportunities? Because he sucks.
No.
Yes.
I think Woody Page said it best. I've said this many times.
Woody Page has never said anything best.
Oh, Woody's hilarious. I thought, and Woody, for the record, this is not just a goofy Woody Page. This is a guy who has worked his entire life for the Denver Post. He knows Denver. He knows all those things. So he reads this. He knows what he's talking about.
People write that for him. He didn't write that himself.
Sorry to interrupt. So he said.
No, you're not sorry to interrupt.
He said, I think it's so ingenious or so interesting that for 58 minutes. They try to coach Tebow, they try to do this, they try to do that, they try to tell him to throw, they try to do all this, and then the last 2 minutes, they take the leash off, they take the collar off, they say, do what the fuck you want to do, and that's that whole Tebow time that no one wants to talk about because it's annoying as shit. And guess where he won all his games? The last 2 minutes. Now, hang on one sec. Now, he said also, which I agree with, we don't know that he could that he could go 16-0 with that thing. We're just saying all we have is 2 minutes of every game where we know what he could do. We're not saying that he would win every single game. We're not saying that he would even be good in every single game. All we're saying is for 2 minutes, almost every single game, for the majority of the time, 9-3, it's looked really good. I think that's fair to say.
It's almost like when they run the no-huddle offense at the last 2 minutes, how they gain so many yards because the defense is in prevent.
Okay, well, how come he won so many of those games? Because the game's close. He's not losing games for him.
He's not a good quarterback.
Let me guess. You're one of those people who thought he'd be a tight end, even though he's never done one snap of a tight end.
I didn't think he'd be good at anything.
Okay, all right.
If he really loved football that much, he would have played tight end. I guess he didn't really like football.
There you go.
He loves baseball.
He does love baseball. He's not very good at that either.
Lamar Jackson, the receiver.
Lamar Jackson. I just don't like Lamar Jackson. I don't. Maybe, obviously because he's a Raven, or maybe if he was a Cowboy, he'd be like, oh, he'll be all right, we'll figure it out. No, I'm not. I try to be a hypocrite like that. I try to hate who I'm going to hate. I'm trying to love who I'm going to love.
Two quick funny things. I know we got to get out of here. Anecdotes. When I was a kid, you guys might find this funny. I was introduced to college football by my dad. Shout out, Dad, if you're still watching.
What's up, bro?
It's like 8 o'clock. You might be asleep. But I was like, hey, when I was watching college football, how come Army and Navy are not like the best teams? It's like the Army and the Navy. Like, those are like the strongest guys. And I didn't realize until later it's the officer schools, and those are like the guys who are not. However you want to phrase it.
Right.
So I was like, Dad, how is the Army not the best college football team? Like, they defend the country. Whatever.
Roger Staubach went to Navy. He was really good. David Robinson went to Navy as well.
And then
Two Hall of Famers.
one other thing I thought was like, if they run the 2-minute offense and they're in hurry up, how come everyone doesn't do it the whole game? Like, oh, they get tired. But
right.
Turns out now they all run it now. It's like you either.
It also depends. Like 2-minute offense, are you down
against the prevent defense?
Because if you're up by 16, you're not going to run 2-minute offense.
That was just two misconceptions when I was a kid. I was like, how is Army not the best college football team?
Right. No, that's fair for sure. For sure, it's fair.
It's not fair. It's stupid.
Like, well, whatever. And I will go with one quick trivia question. Let's go with.
Damn, we didn't talk about the halftime show.
If you know, I don't give a shit about halftime shows. I don't think I've watched one halftime show my whole life.
Here's my.
I miss the whole Janet Jackson thing. I just don't care.
Here's my notes. Sucked.
Great. Who was Brett Favre's very first pass completed to? If you know the Packers.
Brett Favre.
It's correct.
Hey!
Nice job. Nice job. It deflected off of somebody, came right back to him, and then he ran, I'm sure, for... I want to say it was Warren Sapp.
Who was his last completion completed to him?
Oh, that's a good one. Is it a fucking... is it a Jet or a fucking Viking? Fucking Tracy Porter.
I don't know.
Because that was who, yeah, Tracy Porter, because he picked it off and ran it back. That's what got the Saints into the Super Bowl, because he threw across his body. Man, it's not a completion. I'm just saying it's an interception, but I think it was his last throw.
What do you think Brett Favre thinks about Patrick Mahomes? Hey, I did that. Nobody thought it was cool.
Yeah? Well, I think everybody thought it was good.
Gunslinger?
If you're white and you
I
think
have
that you're
not
a gunslinger,
heard
if
one.
you're black and you're a shooting quarterback.
I have not
fan,
heard one
stupid.
person this year call Patrick Mahomes a gunslinger. Have you?
I'm not saying I have or I haven't. It would not surprise me. But cool. Well, fuck, I can't leave down. Okay,
I guess. To be honest, I guess, and then I made one up.
where did Phil Simms go to college? That's a good one.
Phil Simms University.
That's very close.
Damn it.
Morehead State.
Phoenix online.
There you go.
FAMU.
St. Joseph's basketball team backcourt 2004. Dad, that is Jameer Nelson and Delonte West. Thank you very much. If you have any more in the next 10 seconds, I'll take them. But I think it's like a 10-second delay anyway.
You like college basketball? We should probably done this off.
I'm good on any alma mater for pro basketball or football. It's kind of my.
Oh, I meant more
and
for the
potatoes.
future of for the podcast, but
Oh, I mean, I don't mind college basketball. I like pro better because it's better talent.
like if you're gonna watch this from now on, what are you gonna hear? What should we talk about?
I mean, whatever, kind of whatever. Yes. I mean, whatever people
Damn,
want
we
to
didn't
hear.
even talk about the NBA. We didn't even talk about the Porzingis trade either.
We got to get out of here. They got a live comedy show going on over here. Also, I should do that.
thought this was the comedy
Public
show.
House on University in Alafaya, right behind Applebee's. If you're not 40 years old and think you're cool, you want to come back over here instead of go to Applebee's. No, it's a great spot. It's awesome. Really, the service is fantastic. They have a shit ton of beers on draft. They have a shit ton of liquor. It's a really, really, really cool place. So, name Michigan's Fab Five.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Give me $20.
No, he just said name it. I haven't heard it yet. Have you?
Me? I can do it. You think I can do it?
I'm not saying you can. I'm just saying I haven't heard it.
Chris Webber, Jalen Rose.
I got the two tough ones.
Give me a second. I've been drinking a little bit. Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, King, Jimmy King, Chris Webber, Jimmy King, Jalen Rose, two more. Oh my God, I'll never forgive myself. This podcast has to go on until I can think of it.
So that's a no on that one.
No. Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Jimmy King.
Thank you guys very much for joining us. I
Oh my
hope
God.
you
No,
come
no, no.
back and visit again. Wait, can you do the SpongeBob? 3 days later.
I'm gonna be so mad.
Oh, Jesus. I love it. This is fantastic.
We gotta wrap
Because
this
it's not like he was like, oh, I'll try. He's like, give me $20.
Oh my
Shit,
God,
I could have
could have done it for sure.
All right, we'll comment next week. Tune in next week.
No.
The last two. We'll figure it out. But seriously, guys, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Rob, sorry you only got to hear about a minute and 40 seconds of that.
No.
Stuart loves it. I love it. But seriously, thank you
I
guys
never
so much.
forgive myself
really,
for this.
really makes me happy that you guys are doing this on here. For my boy Marty, who's perturbed as shit right now. My boy Stretch, thank you so much for
Who's
setting
the tall
most of
guy?
this shit up. That narrowed it down. And for myself, Brettigans, thank you guys so much. We'll hope to see you next week. Thanks.
Damn it.